Let me tell you my secret that has led to my goal. My strength lies in my tenacity. Louis Pasteur. My friends, your tenacity should be, if you want to master these charts and master these markets, 10 to 15 minutes each and every day following these charts along with us. Of course, we've got a great book, Charting Your Way to Wealth. If you don't have a copy of that, you need it. I'll send you an autographed copy. Follow the link in the show notes. And of course, every day in your show notes is a PDF of the daily market worksheet, another of the weekly market worksheet, another of the trade worksheet. If you want to supercharge your training, start filling out the daily market worksheet on a daily basis. You can fill it out as you listen to the program. What will it do? It'll start getting your mind into the mode of thinking about the movements of price the way that we do, so that you will start understanding exactly what is going on. Remember, the cool thing about the stock market is it either goes up or down. Yes, it can go sideways some, but typically it's moving up, it's moving down. You've got to make most of the time a binary decision. Does that sound complicated? Well, it can be a whole lot more complicated than you might first think, but it's not rocket science. It's charting art, and we want you to become a master. Now, let's jump into these charts. We see the S&P down a little bit, the Nasdaq 100 flat, bonds down, gold up, Bitcoin down. Let's jump first, as we always do, into the S&P 500. Price percent oscillator is flat. We can see that as we've passed the second day of a 5-day candle, we do have a green up candle that is moving up, but not enough energy for a crossover going up on the price percent oscillator. Derivative oscillator, our leading indicator, is positive. We go to the 2-day chart. What do we see there? We see the price percent oscillator still heading up, but flattening a little bit. Derivative oscillator moving up. We can see that the latest candle, even though things down a little bit on Tuesday, with Monday's movement, we have an up candle. So this 2-day candle is now complete after things really stuttering there for the Thursday, Friday candle. We look at the half day, and that, of course, is where you can see things moving up in the morning some and losing it in the afternoon. We see the price percent oscillator heading down, still positive though. Derivative oscillator losing some momentum also. So we shall continue to watch, wait and see if we will have a weekly vertical crossover going up. This divergence is still in effect. We've moved substantially higher, but as we look, we can see that the price percent oscillator, when it crossed over going down all the way back on the 21st of May, it's never had enough energy, even though it's reached higher highs, to cross back over. That is of concern. That is of concern. That is showing you some real weaknesses in there on price movement. And again, we don't have to jump into a chart unless it sets up beautifully for us. And of course, if you are a Patreon supporter, you get 20 beautiful charts every week, some more beautiful than others, but those are weekly vertical crossovers. We strive to give you 10 going up and 10 going down on the S&P 500, which, of course, we track the overall S&P 500, so you know where the master chart, where the index is going, and you're given 20 different stocks to look at and to practice trade each and every week. Again, if we don't have 10 going up, then we might give you 8 going up, and then we'll, of course, make that up typically in 12 going down. So again, we strive to give you 20 every single week. Patreon members love it. To find out more, follow the link in the show notes. Let's go to the Qs. They are flat for the day. Now we do see the week moving up. Prices moving right up. That weekly trend line, derivative oscillator moving up, price percent oscillator moving up. We go to the 2-day. We can see this latest 2-day candle, nice after that red spinning top previously. Price percent oscillator is slowing down some, as is the derivative oscillator on the 2-day chart. We can see where things popped up in the morning on the half day and then down in the afternoon. So what we'll do is we'll just move our trend line. Over a little bit, not a great trend line, but we do want to visually see that of course is heading down. We don't typically put vertical crossovers on the half-day chart. We do on the 2-day, and of course we do on the weekly, but the half-day, again, it's the smallest chart, it's the smallest wave, it has the least impact, but we like to visually see what's actually going on there. So that's where we are. Of course, we had that weekly vertical crossover back on the week ending the 2nd of July. Nice up week last week, still moving up this week. That's nice. Now let's leave go to 20-year bonds and take a look at them as we leave stocks, 0.77% down. Now again, we see a slowdown in the up movement this week. On the weekly chart, we had that happen back on the week ending the 25th of June. The red open box means a slowdown in the up movement. Solid red means down movement. We do see a little wick on the bottom here too. Price percent oscillator is losing momentum for the first time in quite a while. The derivative oscillator also slowing down some. 2-day chart, you can see it more pronounced there with a red spinning top. Lots of movement on the bottom there, some up, but we can see things moving down. And let's hook this up a little better. There we go. And, oh, you know what I did? I shouldn't have done that. We'll fix that when we go to the half-day. I'm messing around with the half-day chart on the 2-day. You don't do that. We look at the 2-day, though, we can see price did pierce the 2-day trend line, and that is a slowing down. Derivative oscillator still positive, as is the price percent oscillator half-day chart. That's where I screwed things up. There, I'll reset that. There we go. So what we see happening on the half-day chart is it crossed over going down in the morning on Monday, and again sliding sideways some and really pushing down in the afternoon on Tuesday as the derivative oscillator accelerates in its down movement. Price percent oscillator heads down. So again, keep our eye on things on bonds. We start seeing a real piercing of that weekly trend line. That can spell some trouble for us and if we see a big weakening of that weekly. But again, we'll continue to watch and see. The fact of the matter is, if you pay attention to all the charts all the time, nothing is going to overly surprise you. Let's move on to gold. What do we see happening there? Gold up a little bit, 0.13%. Price percent oscillator still negative. Derivative oscillator gaining downward momentum. Sideways slide underway. Red spinning top, almost a doji on that 2-day chart. Red spinning top on, I'm sorry, that was on the weekly. Red spinning top on the 2-day. Also, price percent oscillator negative heading up. Derivative oscillator just barely negative. I sure hope gold has bottomed out. I would love to see the 2-day crossover before the end of the week and that weekly crossover too. Will that happen? I don't know. Be nice to see it do so, and we'll continue to watch and see what happens. We look at the half day, and again, we can see how it just continues to pop up, sideways down a little bit, pop up again. We just want to see it continuing to move up. That derivative oscillator peaked back on the afternoon of Wednesday. The 7th of July has been moving down since then. The price percent oscillator sliding sideways. Ended the day with a red spinning top, but above that half-day trend line. So we'll continue to keep our eye on gold. I want to see gold bottom out and start moving up again. What about Bitcoin? Down for the day, 2.66%. Let's start as we always do with a weekly. What do we see happening? Price percent oscillator still heading down. Derivative oscillators losing some downward momentum. Hasn't hit the most recent low that it did back on the week ending the 25th of June, down around the $30,221 mark. But again, continuing to just show us down movement. And we go to the 2-day chart. Now, it was trying to pull away from the red signal line, but is getting closer as we see a red down candle forming after, some dojis there over the prior 4 days. So again, Derivative oscillator losing a little bit of momentum, still positive though, and the price percent oscillator still positive. Still hope for Bitcoin, but again, not showing signs of strength at this point. What do we see with the half day? Of course, down in the, we can see where over the course of the day, it rolled back over, heading down on that price percent oscillator, and the derivative oscillator accelerating down. So we'll continue to wait, watch and see what Bitcoin's going to do. Hopefully at some point it'll bottom out and start heading up. If you're interested in Bitcoin, then by all means follow it with us every day. Only by practice trading it are you going to learn the nuances of how it moves and how you master it. That's where we are, folks, as we end the day on Tuesday, move into Wednesday. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.